Okay, I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Urbana City Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
City Council members Brown. Here. Hazen.
Here.
Hersey.
Here.
Jacobson. Here. Miller.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Wu.
Here.
Mayor Marlin.
Here. Approval of minutes from the two previous meetings of February 4th, 2019 and a special meeting of February 11th, 2019. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Moved by
That
I'll
would
second.
be Jared.
Jared,
I'll second that.
seconded by Eric.
No,
Any
Dennis
corrections?
Oh, did Dennis already second?
Okay.
I'm not going to fight it, though.
I'm going to give it to Dennis. All right. Any corrections? All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Additions to the agenda. Public input, I have one card from James Cosmopoulos. You wish to speak at the time of the agenda item, sorry. Okay. Unfinished business. Reports of standing committees. Reports of special committees. Reports of officers. We really have been working this week. But New business. James, would you like to speak? This is on resolution number 2019-02-003R, which is a resolution authorizing execution of a service agreement with the lowest responsible bidder for the supply of natural gas for city facilities.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, I'm not too much of a stranger at this point. My name is James Cosmopoulos. I'm the Urbana City Council liaison for the University of Illinois Student Government. I try to attend these meetings as much as I am able to, so like I said, hopefully you've seen me before. I've come to speak today about this resolution because the Illinois Student Government did have some concerns that they wanted to express on this. And since I am the Urbana City Council liaison, I will be delivering a statement on behalf of the Illinois Student Government. On behalf of the University of Illinois Student Government, we respectfully request that the Urbana City Council carefully considers the potential consequences of resolution number 2019-02-003R, a resolution authorizing execution of a service agreement with the lowest responsible bidder for the supply of natural gas for city facilities. The University of Illinois Student Government commends the City of Urbana for investigating creative ways to reduce the cost of energy for city facilities and for being attentive to the needs of the community and its students. However, it would not be in the best interest of the students at the University of Illinois if resolution number 2019-02-003R is passed without extra measures to invest in renewable energy. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, the extraction, transportation, and consumption of natural gas has detrimental effects to the environment. It destroys numerous habitats and harms ecosystems, releases large amounts of methane into the environment, which traps substantially much more heat in the atmosphere than carbon dioxide, releases nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere, creating air pollution, and pollutes ground and surface water. Natural gas is by no means a source of clean energy. Rather, it is a non-renewable, hazardous fossil fuel. One may argue that there would be no negative effects from reducing the cost of a commodity that the municipality already purchases, but this initiative has tremendous potential for harmful consequences if the money saved from aggregation is not put directly towards investing in renewable energy. Although there may not be any immediate plans to increase the volume of natural gas that the City of Urbana purchases to power its city facilities, the adoption of this resolution has strong potential to create a ripple effect that would increase overall consumption of natural gas. By aggregating and reducing the cost of natural gas, an incentive is created to purchase more of it, and more natural gas will be consumed statewide and even nationwide, inevitably advancing the horrific effects of climate change. This resolution does not align with the goals of the City of Urbana to become a more sustainable city with lowered carbon emissions, as outlined in the city's Climate Action Plan of 2012, unless the City of Urbana's supply of renewable energy increases with this resolution. A future reliant on fossil fuels is not a future fit for the students of the University of Illinois. It is not a future fit for the people of the City of Urbana. It is not a future fit for the people of Illinois, and it is not a future fit for the people of planet Earth. The relationship that the students of the University of Illinois has with the city of Urbana is cherished by the University of Illinois student government. Our relationship has allowed for both the University of Illinois and the city of Urbana to thrive and influence generations of leaders who have and will continue to change the world. This relationship cannot be maintained if the future of the students of the University of Illinois is endangered by actions that advance climate change. The University of Illinois student government hopes that the Urbana City Council considers the future of the thousands of bright students at the University of Illinois and takes direct action to increase the supply of renewable energy for the city of Urbana, should this resolution be passed. Signed in orange and blue, the Department of Governmental Relations, Kirsten Peterson, Director of Governmental Affairs, James Cosmopoulos, Urbana City Council Liaison, Alec Navikas, Champaign City Council Liaison, Jessica Nicholson, Champaign County Board Liaison, Walter Linwall, Student Body President, and Alice Zhang, Student Body Vice President. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and does anyone else wish to address the Urbana City Council? Okay. Scott Tess, will you be doing the staff report for this?
Good evening. The resolution before you would authorize the mayor to execute an agreement for retail natural gas supply for city facilities. This is similar to what we've already done with retail electric supply for city facilities. We're using the same broker. This is the broker that we use for municipal electric aggregation. It's also similar to what we do with municipal electric aggregation in the sense that we will be bundling our demand with other municipalities to get better pricing. It's different than both of those because the rules and regulations that form the natural gas retail market in Illinois are different. Specifically, there is an open enrollment style arrangement for retail natural gas supply in Illinois. And that means that any account that wishes to move from the regulated natural gas supply needs to notify the utility company the first week in March, and they need to start retail natural gas supply May 1. So time's of the essence. This is the first time we're doing this. This is the first time our broker has bundled together a large number of cities in Illinois to move from regulated supply to retail, although they have worked with many individual cities with that kind of service in Illinois. So we're working with the broker, and they brought us this opportunity. Unfortunately, there wasn't time to bring this to committee of the whole first, and so I mentioned in the memo that to move forward you'd need to suspend Rule 4, I believe it is, yes, to move forward with this resolution. I'll take any questions you have.
Jared?
Before we consider or have any further discussion, I'll make a motion to suspend Rule 4 to consider this matter.
It's the resolution on resolutions.
The resolution on resolutions.
Is there a second?
I'll do that.
Okay, we'll give that to Eric this time. So moved by Jared, seconded by Eric. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, that motion passes. We've suspended. Jared, did you want to speak?
Yeah, I just had a question, Scott. In light of James' comments, in consideration with what the city's plans are, can you speak a little bit about the solar project we recently approved to happen on the Urbana landfill and how that might play into offsetting any savings or playing a part into our overall picture of what we're doing?
Sure. So we have, through qualifications-based selection, we are working with a developer on a landfill solar project. That development is fairly dependent on winning state incentives in an upcoming lottery. So the state has a number of carve-outs of different types of incentives for different types of projects and different types of property hosts for solar arrays. And we'll actually be able to apply for several of these in the event that we don't win the first lottery. We expect those lotteries to start in March, and so we will, hopefully we'll win the first one, and we'll know in March, and we'll move forward converting our lease option with SunPower into a long-term lease. And then we'll work on developing off-takers for that project, which I think in this community won't be hard at all. And that's addressing driving down the use of coal in our energy mix, specifically for electricity generation. And the Future Energy Jobs Act that we're relying on, which is the bill that's just being implemented now, with the incentives, is really driving the electricity sector to move away from fossil fuels like coal, although there is a fair amount of natural gas also used to produce electricity, particularly in peaker plants. But we're moving towards moving that decarbonizing electricity. Coal is the biggest offender, so that's kind of the prime target. After that, I think more and more folks are going to have comments and questions, as James did, about natural gas. As we move away from coal, that'll be the next one to focus on.
Do we have an analysis on energy source use by the city? Or is it really just based on where our aggregate electrical supply mostly comes from and that larger breakdown?
Yeah, every other year we do municipal facilities and operations greenhouse gas inventory, and we get utility bill data for facilities. So we get our total electricity use, our total natural gas use. We also, in our bigger inventory, we also have fuel use for vehicles. And there may be a couple other things, maybe waste. And so we're working on that right now. We're still collecting data for 2018, calendar year 2018. So we have a pretty good grasp of where our electricity comes from. And in terms of the electricity we use, there's a carbon intensity report that's published about every 4 years by US EPA. So we rely on that to sort of drive how carbon intensive the kilowatt hours are that we're using. So you can look for that. Hopefully we'll be able to wrap up that report in March and share it with council.
The reason why I brought that up is because I think an interesting thing for us to be able to see would, for us to understand our overall picture, is to see what each action, similar to even what we're doing tonight, while, yeah, it's just a price consideration, we're not considering our overall volume consumption, but each action that's energy related taken by council or the city over the lifetime of that report that we're generating on for data, and we could get either, even if it's just a small tidbit analysis, is to say, oh, well, this was effective in this way. Maybe we can't put it into real hard numbers, but at least we can see, hey, we're moving in the right directions. We made 14 decisions that were positive towards reducing our carbon impact, or we made, 4 that weren't so great. Something along those lines.
Sure.
Thanks, Scott.
Eric?
I just want to say that I do appreciate the principle underlying James's comments, and because it's true. I mean, people have made energy output matrices for energy use in the United States, and it's absolutely true that if you reduce the price of something, typically more is used, and so the overall impact on carbon footprint of any action is a complicated one. In the case of saving money here on natural gas, now we're talking, let me be clear about something. We're talking about the city's use or Urbana citizens' use?
City facilities only.
City facilities only. So in our case, we're not going to spend those savings on something else. We will just run not quite so far in the red this year as we otherwise
Correct.
would. So, so I think, I'm prepared to support this, but I do want to recognize the economic principle that James is invoking, that when one, the energy impact of saving money in one place may result in increasing carbon footprint somewhere else. It won't happen with respect to city activities this year.
Bill?
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think under our current budget situation too, it's a matter of sustaining a lot of the progress we've made in sustainability. As far as Scott spends a lot of his time on solar projects, whether it's for the city or with Solar 2.0, 4.0. It's up to 4 now.
Yeah.
For getting solar installed across the county, basically. So it does a lot of work outside the city. So just to be able to sustain that and to continue to buy electric vehicles and some of the things we're already doing, I think it's important to save money where we can. So this $6,000 won't necessarily be, if we can't put it directly toward buying new solar panels, we'll probably still put it toward sustainable initiatives.
Mary Alice?
So I'm looking at the promotional material from Good Energy, and they say, at current market conditions, the savings could be in excess of $10,000 annually or greater. But then your analysis has a difference of about $6,000 per year, and so that's what we would expect to be able to save roughly on average per year. Is that correct?
Per year, based on analysis of our expected usage, yeah.
Okay. And just so I remember, you are full-time sustainable manager? What's your official title?
Environmental Sustainability
Thank
Manager.
you. And I think it shows a lot of commitment to the city of Urbana that we have one. I don't think a lot of communities our size actually dedicate that amount of resources. So I'd like to echo what Eric said about having a student representative here. Thank you very much for coming and sharing your thoughts. As you can see, you've opened up the conversation, so we welcome any input you and the council might have. And it gives us an opportunity as well to discuss some things. I agree with Jared in terms of looking at all the little pieces that we do all the time and having a bigger, broader vision of what we're actually accomplishing towards that city council goal that we have. So thank you.
One question and one comment. When we sign a contract, is it for a 1-year period, a 2-year period? What is the time frame we're talking about?
Our broker is recommending a 2-year agreement at this time.
So we can assess it after 2 years?
Yep.
Okay. And then one comment, we're conducting the facilities evaluation, the conditional assessment, the programming needs, the space needs, and the condition of the facilities themselves, and in preparation of a facilities master plan. So we'll be looking at, among other things, the energy consumption of our facilities and ways to decrease that as well. And that study should help us a great deal with that. Jared?
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
I'm going to move with strong consideration, James, of our impacts and our choices that we're doing. Resolution number 2019-02-003R, a resolution authorizing the execution of a service agreement with the lowest responsible bidder for the supply of natural gas for city facilities for approval.
Second.
Moved by Jared, seconded by Eric, and I want to emphasize this is for city buildings only. Let's see, do we need a roll call vote? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmembers Brown?
Yes.
Hazen?
Yes.
Hersey?
Yes.
Jacobson?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Roberts?
Yes.
Swift?
Yes.
That motion passes. Next up is ordinance number 2019, thanks Scott, -02-014. It's an ordinance amending the Urbana City Code, Chapter 3, Section 3-43, maintaining the number of Class A liquor licenses for Mama Tried LLC, doing business as the Rose Bowl Tavern, 106 North Race, Urbana, Illinois. So this does not change the overall number of licenses. It reflects a change in ownership. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
Moved by Dennis.
Dean?
Moved by Dean.
No,
Seconded by
Second.
Dean.
Sorry.
can't
Trying to
see.
answer ahead
my
there.
ears. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Hazen,
Yes.
Hersey, Jacobson,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
And Wu.
Yes.
That motion passes. Last item on the agenda is a request for a motion to go into closed session to consider setting the price for sale or lease of property pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C6.
So moved.
I'll second.
That was Jared.
Jared, moved by Jared, seconded by Dennis. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmembers Brown,
Yes.
Hazen, Hersey, Jacobson.
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Roberts.
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
Mayor Marlin.
That motion passes. We will adjourn to upstairs, well, we won't adjourn, we will move upstairs for the meeting. When we come back, we will adjourn, and there will be no further business before the council.